$21 billion, or the Windsor name, pick one. That ultimatum, spoken in a marble-walled study barely a carriage length from King Edward VII's deathbed portrait, is already being whispered into every microphone from Sky News to CNN. It's the sentence that could rewrite the next century of British monarchy, and it sits at the center of a crisis that began with a cancer scare, ballooned into a financial firestorm, and now threatens to seal a permanent steel door between two royal brothers. Today we're unboxing the full, sprawling drama, the hospital dash that rattled Buckingham's chandeliers, the exact spreadsheet that transforms Harry's $21 billion debt from clickbait into a very real line-item headache for palace accountants, and the three razor-edged conditions William has laid down, each one designed to protect the crown even if it destroys any hope of sentimental reunion. We'll weave in the hidden role of Camilla's crisis council, the army of lawyers who've already drafted 4 possible settlement deeds, and a quiet subplot involving Prince George that could make this feud echo for another generation. Fasten your seatbelt. The House of Windsor just veered onto an icy bend, and brakes are optional. A king in the ward. The fuse lit just after sunrise. King Charles, already fatigued by months of aggressive cancer therapy, woke complaining of arrhythmic heartbeats and double vision. His valet pressed the royal blue button, a code reserved for medical emergencies, and within 20 minutes a discreet convoy left Clarence House under Met Police escort. Technically, the palace statement called it a precautionary admission, but insiders say cardiologists found enzyme spikes consistent with treatment-induced cardiotoxicity. Translation: the very drugs saving the king's life had begun nibbling at the walls of the royal engine room. While cameras focused on the wrought iron gates of a private London clinic, another drama flared unseen. Clarence House switched its phone tree to succession-sensitive. Private secretaries to the Prince and Princess of Wales were summoned by secure call, councillors of state schedules darkened with the word contingency, and, most tantalizing, an encrypted signal shot across the Atlantic to Montecito, marked immediate family only. Harry's $21 billion thunderbolt. Within hours, Prince Harry's attorneys delivered a sharply worded request to the keeper of the Privy Purse. The document is 14 pages, footnoted, and dripping with corporate risk language. At its heart, a proposal that the Crown facilitate the retirement of what Harry's team calls aggregate liabilities, totaling $21 billion. Yes, the number is inflated, no single bank is chasing Harry for that sum, but each line on the annex has a real backstory. $4.5 billion, projected lifetime security, and insurance costs, had he remained a senior working royal. $2.1 billion, lost philanthropic revenue after sponsors withdrew from Sussex Royal Foundation. $6 billion, reputational impairment, damages tallied by PR auditors following multiple lawsuits. $8.4 billion, amortized value of royal brand leverage said to be forfeited when titles were frozen. Add legal fees, staff severance, cancelled speaking tours, it snowballs. Harry's pitch: convert that symbolic red ink into a public gesture of family unity, while simultaneously reimbursing certain UK security agencies he claims were left financially exposed by his departure. He stops short of demanding direct cash, instead he dangles an olive branch: partial return to duty, new charitable collaborations, a vow to cease any projects liable to cause reputational distress. On paper it reads like a truce. In Windsor eyes it looks like a Trojan horse. William's 3-layer firewall. Prince William's reply came through a single emissary, Sir Clive Alderton, the King's principal private secretary, who served tea in the same picture gallery where Elizabeth II once briefed Churchill. There, he delivered William's position line by line. Identity reset. Harry may re-enter UK life only as Mr. Henry Mountbatten Windsor. All hereditary titles locked in perpetuity, coat of arms mothballed, no His Royal Highness styling, ever. Financial firewall. Every security cost, every travel expense, every staff paycheck must come from the Sussex Personal LLC, audited annually by the National Audit Office. No sovereign grant top-ups, no duchy piggybacking. Institutional quarantine. Harry must resign from every royal-branded charity. No using palace imagery, no appearing at official balcony moments, and, most controversial, no future Sussex children may inherit working royal status automatically. In other words, family remains a possibility, institution does not. Palace insiders say William delivered those terms, with zero malice, but zero wiggle room. His guiding logic: the monarchy can survive public sympathy dips, but not blurred lines. Royal equals constitutional trust. Anything halfway is reputational kerosene. Charles's divided heart. King Charles received both briefs, Harry's appeal and William's reply, while still hooked to a heart monitor. Doctors cautioned against stress spikes, yet the monarch insisted on reading every page. A valet later told staff he saw tears, one for paternal yearning, another for dynastic dread. Charles has long dreamt of a slimmed monarchy united by purpose. That dream now sits on a seesaw, with his health on one end and a family schism on the other. Behind the scenes, Queen Camilla convened her informal war cabinet, Sir Edward Young, ex-private secretary, Lord Chamberlain Andrew Parker, and, curiously, her own trusted PR strategist, ex-journalist Mark Boland. Their brief map scenarios if Charles needs extended convalescence. Early draft options include Regency Light. William assumes day-to-day duties without formal regent status. Twin engine. William and Camilla split engagements, minimizing public alarm. Silent stabilizer. Elevate Princess Anne and the Duke of Edinburgh to frontline to dilute succession chatter. Note: none of these involve Harry. Public opinion, fault lines and flash polls. Inside British living rooms, the nation's vibe meter swings hourly. Snap YouGov poll: 58% of over 55s support William's hardline. Only 31% of 18-24s agree. On TikTok, hashtags #LetHarryHelp and #NoTitleNoProblem both clear 4 million views by breakfast. Talk radio callers reminisce about the Queen's doctrine of quiet duty, while online activists demand transparency about all royal financing, not just Harry's. International reaction is equally split. American networks frame Harry as the prodigal son seeking accountability. German tabloids side with William, discipline-zoist. Australian Republicans seize the moment, tweeting, "If the royals can't fix their family, why keep ours tied to them?" The George factor, a legacy at stake. Amid the spotlight, 12-year-old Prince George is absorbing a crash course in royal realpolitik. Sources say William briefed his son in language fit for a Year 7 civics lesson. Families argue, but duty stands taller. Later that evening, George allegedly tucked a note into his grandfather's get-well flowers. "Hope you like the drawing. Mum says coloring helps me think." The drawing. A crown balanced on a bridge. Even children sense fissures. Courtiers worry the feud's loud messaging could shape George's formative view of monarchy. Will he inherit a blueprint of exclusions and legal contracts, or one of reconciliation built on tight frameworks? Psychologists who advised the palace after Diana's death warn that sibling warfare left unresolved can echo through generations. Recall Edward VIII versus George VI. 3 ticking timers. Everything now revolves around 3 dates. The King's next oncology review, 41 days. If doctors advise reduced workload, Regency conversations move from theoretical to procedural. Harry's self-imposed response deadline, insiders whisper 14 days. Past that, William's terms become a standing edict and Buckingham communications pivot to business without Sussex. The Commonwealth heads of government meeting, 9 to 2 days. If Charles can't travel, William faces his first full-scale international summit as de facto sovereign, while the world watches for cracks. What happens if Harry says yes? Scenario A. Harry accepts, drops his titles, funds his own security, and returns as a private humanitarian. Public goodwill could rebound fast. Britain's respect sacrifice. Prince William scores points for firmness and forgiveness. Meghan's role becomes an open question. Join the low-key UK life, or maintain a California base. Netflix deals might take a hit, but philanthropy doors swing back open. What happens if Harry says no? Scenario B. The rift ossifies. William steers a newly streamlined firm. Charles focuses on recovery. Andrew and other problem royals fade deeper into the sidelines. Harry becomes global speaker on mental health, still lucrative, but permanently outside lineage business. Future coronations proceed with empty Sussex chairs. History books record it as the moment modern monarchy chose firewall over flexibility. Your verdict? So, viewers, imagine the burden. A sick king balancing fatherly love against 1,000 years of crown survival, two brothers staring across a gulf of lawyers, and 21 billion symbolic dollars hanging like a chandelier above them all. If you were Harry, would you trade the Sussex title for a clean slate? If you were William, would you risk public sympathy to protect royal boundaries? And if you were Charles, lying awake at Clarence House, which weighs heavier, the crown on your head or the fracture in your family? Drop your answers in the comments. Slam the like button if today's deep dive shed new light on palace math. Subscribe for more uncensored royal analysis, and ring that bell, because the second Harry's decision hits the palace inbox, we'll be here to translate every legal clause into plain English. Until then, keep calm, stay curious, and remember, in the House of Windsor, even an apology can arrive with a price tag.